Mike Heck here for MMAfighting.com. We are live at the DWCS in Las Vegas. Fan Expo. It is bananas around here. And sitting beside me, one of the top prospects of the sport, a guy a lot of people have their eye on, Mr. Bo Nickal. Bo, welcome. How are you enjoying the experience?
Oh, thanks. The experience is awesome. You know, it's a great energy here. A lot of fans, obviously, but yeah, very grateful to be here.
Coming off that pro debut, are you feeling the momentum behind you right now? Because all the big sites are writing about you. People wanted to see the video of that finish. It was a brutal finish on your behalf. What has it been like?
Man, it's been pretty crazy. Definitely a whirlwind. A lot of new opportunities and a lot of people reaching out and stuff. So it's been cool. It's been cool. I know I'm definitely just trying to embrace it and enjoy the process. But yeah, bigger and better things on the way.
Did you expect it to happen this quickly?
I didn't. No. I thought I would have to get 4 or 5 more fights on like a regional scene like Icon, and people would kind of start trickling in here and there. But it was obviously a spectacular finish, and people loved it. So I'm just excited that I'm having a lot of new opportunities come my way.
I am told, a little birdie told me a little while ago, that there is some breaking news that perhaps we might be seeing you back here in Las Vegas sooner rather than later. But and I'm not just talking about Sunday. I'm not talking about the grappling event on Sunday, which we'll talk about as well. But You're going to be competing on Dana White's Contender Series. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's the word on the street. So, I'll be back here in August competing on the Contender Series. And, it's a big opportunity for me. So I'm going to bring my my A game.
Do we have an opponent yet?
Yeah, we have an opponent. So I'm all set with that. And, August 9th, it'll be, at the Apex Contender Series to kind of kick off my UFC career.
Are you allowed to share who the opponent is?
Zach Borrego, 2-0 pro out of Texas. So a couple of Texas boys going to go scrap.
Second pro fight. You're fighting on the Contender Series. You're fighting in front of the Dana and the matchmakers. But you've been in pressure situations many times throughout your athletic career. Is this going to feel any different at all, do you think? Like, does this build feel different than any of your other fights?
I'll say this about, like, pressure situations. Anytime you go into one, it always feels a certain way, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you've done it 1,000 times or you've never done it before, right? Like, you're going to feel like your heart racing a little bit. You're going to feel these different things. But for me, like, that's exciting. That's why I train as hard as I do. I live for that stuff. So, high pressure situation with, obviously, like you said, Dana watching Contender Series. A lot of people are going to be tuning in. That's the most fun for me. That's what I live for. That's why I train the way I do. And I'm going to make the most of it. And I'm going to absolutely put on a spectacular performance.
Have you met Dana yet?
No, never met Dana, but I'm looking forward to meeting him. Obviously, going to be working with him in the future. So I think that, our first meeting hopefully will go well, and we'll build a great relationship.
Of course, Saturday, big fight, 185 pounds. Israel Adesanya defending his title against Jared Cannonier. Not sure how closely you've looked at the matchup from a stylistic perspective, but just your thoughts on the matchup. Who do you think leaves T-Mobile with the title, in your opinion?
Great matchup. I mean, Cannonier, obviously a savage. Adesanya, one of the best guys in the sport currently. I'm a student of the sport. I study as much as I can, and obviously in my division, these are two guys that I've watched a ton of film on. So I'm excited for the fight. I see more than likely Adesanya winning decision, but with that being said, Cannonier hits like a truck. So at any point, you're in 4-ounce gloves, you get hit, that might be it. But I think Adesanya wins the decision and probably leaves with the title. That being said, I'm just super excited for the fight because it's going to be a fire matchup.
Have you been studying Strickland and Pereira as well?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I haven't studied Pereira as much because he hasn't had as many fights. But Strickland, he's been down at American Top Team where I recently trained with a couple of my partners. I've never trained with him, but I'm excited for that fight. Those two dudes are, they come to fight, right? They're not going out there to skate by on a decision. They're coming out there to really throw down. So I'm excited to see how that goes, and that could be a #1 contender fight right there.
Last thing for me, I'll let you enjoy the rest of the day. Well, we'll talk about Sunday real quick as well.
Okay, yeah.
Let's talk about that right now.
We can talk. I got time, so all good.
Let's go. Sunday, you're part of the UFC Fight Pass Invitational, the grappling event. You'll be representing Icon, right? That's who you're representing. So just being on that stage, James Krause sitting to your right, he's one of the guys that's going to be competing as well. Mm-hmm. What is that whole experience like for you?
I'm super pumped up. I think challenging myself in a different arena, the submission grappling arena, is exciting for me. It's similar to wrestling, but there's a lot of difference, a lot of nuance, and so I'm just looking to test myself against some really quality opponents. And at the end of the day, hopefully, I'm not just going there for fun. I'm going there to win. So I have a great team, and I'm excited to compete and show my skills and all the things that I've been working on in that area.
And last thing, next year, International Fight Week at the DWCS right here in the same building. What are we talking about here? You and I sitting back next to each other a year from now. What are we talking about?
I don't know if I'll be here talking with you next year. I might be getting ready to fight. So, for me at that point, I would love to compete International Fight Week, hopefully in T-Mobile or wherever. And I'll be 5 or 6 fights deep into my career at that point. Still undefeated, all finishes, and just looking to continue building my reputation, building my record, my career, and working my way up to getting a title shot and becoming UFC champ. So I would say at this point, they know how my ratings do in the UFC with Fight Pass and whatnot, and I'm sure they'll be wanting me to fight on all the big cards.
Dana White's Contender Series just got a boost, ladies and gentlemen. Bo Nickal going to be fighting next month, part of the August slate. See if he comes away with a UFC contract, but you'd also see him this Sunday at the UFC Fight Pass Invitational. So, Bo, thank you very much. What an incredible start to your career, man. Excited to see where it continues to go.
Thank you. I appreciate it.